How's everybody doing? This is part one, sort of my bug out bag gear. This isn't necessarily a bug out bag. It's just something I would carry with me. This is as you can see, a U.S. government issue, military issue, web vest. This is one of the older ones. None of this stuff comes off. This is like 1980s stuff, but I'll go through it anyways. The reason I like to carry this is it's a good way for me to carry my ammo. And if for any reason I had to ditch my bag, I could do that and be perfectly fine without it. So, as you can see, I've got a canteen here. There's a little stick of mosquito repellent. Some years in Wisconsin, the mosquitoes are just awful. You have to run to your car, or you'll just get chewed up. Canteen stand right on there. I got the cup in there. I'll talk about it in part two. I have pretty much a second set in my bug out bag, so I don't know if I'm going to keep that in there or not, but I'll figure that out at some point. I've got 6 magazines for the AR-15, which I'll show you in part 2. And then in these pouches, if I were to carry my other weapon with me instead, or in addition to, which is a Moss and Nagant, I've got, let me think here, each of these has 15 rounds, these pouches, so got them on the stripper clips. Unfortunately, I only have 3 of these Polish type. The ones that are in here are the Chinese kind of stripper clips, which are absolute garbage compared to these. But, you know, what are you going to do? Up here in the grenade pouch, I have my compass. It's a Lensatic compass. Got trained on how to use these in the military. I had another one, it was plastic, but I don't like carrying things that are plastic. I can drop this and it's still going to work. You know, I don't have to worry about it breaking. So it's just a better quality. It costed the same amount actually as the plastic one that I already have. This is my IFAK, my first aid kit. Most people get the first aid kits and they just leave them with whatever is stocked in them. I was, a hospital corpsman for the Marines, so I have better equipment in mine. These are under here. These are sutures. A lot of first aid classes and courses, EMTs even, and paramedics too, they get taught not to use tourniquets. This is a combat application tourniquet. I don't have battle dressings in here. I think I have 1, maybe 2. A tourniquet is the most effective and best way to stop bleeding on an extremity. No matter what any EMT tells you, you're not going to lose your arm if you use a tourniquet. You're not going to lose your leg if you use a tourniquet. So don't listen to that advice. I can't tell you how many patients I put tourniquets on when I was in Afghanistan. Over 100, and none of them lost their arm unless it was gone already. So, some rubber gloves in here, Baxitracin, medications, Benadryl, loperamide, which is for diarrhea. Safety pins, those are always a good thing to have. If you come up on somebody who's having trouble keeping their airway, it may seem barbaric, but you can use safety pins that pretty much pierce their tongue and pierce it to their lip, and that'll keep their airway open. Again, I might get criticized for, oh, that's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Usually I have a pretty good attitude, but to that kind of comment, I'm not going to, because I know what I'm doing when it comes to emergency and trauma medicine like that. So this is the drop down leg module, I guess I'll call it. This is what I mean when I say I could drop my bag and I'd be perfectly okay. Got some spare rounds in here. There's only 10 of them. They're surplus rounds, but you know, they can help me make a fire. They can help me hunt. So, maps of the area. I'm not going to take this all the way out, but you can see they're in there. One's a road map. The other one's more of a satellite map. The bad thing is I can't find a map anywhere that's got grids. So, I can't really call out coordinates or anything like that if I needed to help someone locate where I'm at, because I do carry comm with me. Alright, on the inside here, get this in the light better. I got chem lights, 2 of them, one here, one there. Ziploc bags. Those are good for carrying water in if I need to. Eating utensils is a fork on one end, spoon on the other, and this is kind of a serrated edge. Magnesium fire starter, matches. This is a little waterproof glass case. It used to have iodine in it. P51 can opener, a favorite among the military. A couple extra safety pins. These are cheap carabiners. They're not, you know, the best quality, but they'll work. These are used for 550 cord for pretty much making a shelter with. You add tension and stuff like that. Some good nylon rope. I think there's about 25 feet here, you know, for shelter if I needed it. I've got one MRE entree in case I couldn't find any food. An extra 30 round magazine for my assault rifle. In total, I guess I'd be carrying 8. If this was a bug out situation and there was civil unrest, I'd carry 8 magazines, all of them fully loaded. I'd have 1 in my rifle, 6 on here, and 1 in here. But anyhow, I highly doubt that that's ever going to happen. So there's another tourniquet in here. I'll take this out and show you it. This is an elastic tourniquet. This is what usually comes in an IFAC. For the most part, they're cheap and don't work very well. You have to really get trained in how to use one of these kind. It's not as idiot friendly as the combat application tourniquet. It gives you little, you know, directions on the side, which you're not going to have time to read if you're bleeding to death. Also, it shows you to put it, you know, right up here on your hand. You don't ever put a tourniquet down there. You put it as high up in your armpit or in your groin as you can. That's where your artery is. Like I said, you're not going to lose your limb. You can leave these on for hours before you're going to have any kind of problem. The statistics that they use for tourniquets are from the Civil War. So, they're very outdated. They don't ever see the need to update any of that kind of stuff. Under here's a space blanket, a knife sharpener. It's a, you know, carbide steel on one side, ceramic on the other. Roll of medical tape. This stuff's really sticky. It rips easy, so it's pretty useful. Birthday candles. Those aren't for light. Those are for starting fires with. You light one, and it's going to last a lot longer than a match is going to. So that's a good way to save matches. Right here is my headlamp. It's got a little blue lens filter on the top. These are in this Ziploc bag tinder sticks, 4 of them. A mouse trap. If I need something to eat, put a little bit of this MRE on there or peanut butter, and I will more than likely have something to eat in about a few hours. Some more 550 cord down there. I carry a lot of that. And then this is just one of those survival kits you get, you know. I bought it just to kind of demo it. I haven't tried it out yet. I'd like to go into the woods with just this, see how long I can stay out there safely. It's got a little knife in here, fire starter, compass. There's a whistle, flashlight. There's, I forget what's inside here. Just basic stuff, you know what's in a survival kit. Tinder sticks, well not tinder sticks, but you know, tinder, safety pins, a little bit of rope, some snare wire, fishing line, tin foil, you know, basic stuff. And then there's a signal mirror on the top right here. And I got two more things. This is my multi-tool. It's specifically made for AR platform rifles. You can see I've got a can opener on here too. This is a bolt override tool in case you get brass stuck over the bolt. And it's got a little wrench on this end. There's a strap cutter. It can be used as a hammer. These aren't cheap, this kind, but it's got a lifetime warranty and it's a lot more well built than any other type of multi-tool I've ever owned or handled. So, and then my knife, I forget what brand it is. I think it's an SOG. Let me take it out of the... I'm going to put the camera down for a second. I don't know. Gerber. Okay, I was wrong. But it's a good heavy knife. I like that the serrations don't go up half the blade. I used to have a K-bar, and they went up maybe another 2 inches. Those get chipped or anything like that, and you're going to lose your edge. It's good hardened steel. It's heavy duty. The blade goes all the way through the handle, so it's a good kind of knife. I always see lots of people debating what's the best knife to have. There's no best knife. There's many good knives, and this is one of them. So, and then on there, like I said, can't ever have too much paracord, so I wrapped a little bit around there. And I think that's it. Yes, it is. If you have any feedback about anything that I'm carrying in here, I know my ammo might be excessive, but whatever. I'm used to carrying this much stuff from being in the military. So, carrying 180 rounds in these magazines is not a big deal to me whatsoever. Probably would never have to use it. Might have to. Would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So, alright. I should be putting part 2 on, doing part 2 right after this one, so just stand by for that. Have a good one.